Hi! Now let us discover the life of Rizal in Europe, his social and political views, and the impact of propaganda movement. Jose Rizal was a man with a plan, and that plan would lead him to hop from one European nation to another. Jose Rizal decided to leave the Philippines and drove his way down to Europe for a new journey. Rizal's life in Europe. Jose Rizal lived in Europe for 10 years. He could converse in more than 10 different tongues. Rizal was skilled in painting, fencing, sculpturing. He was a journalist, a teacher, and an anthropologist. During his European sojourn, he also began to write novels. Rizal finished his first book, No Limit Tangyari, while living in Wilhelmshaven with the Reverend Carl Almer. An happy day at UST. Rizal was unhappy in the Dominican institution because the Dominican professor was hostile to him. The Filipino students were racially discriminated against by Spaniards. The method of instruction was obsolete and repressive. In sunny Spain, aside from his studies in Spain, Rizal has a secret mission to observe keenly the life and culture, languages, customs, industries, the commerce, the government, and the laws of European nations in order to prepare himself in mighty task of liberating his oppressed people from Spanish tyranny. On May 3, 1882, Rizal departed on board with the Spanish steamer Salvadora, bound for Singapore. Donatalega was the ship captain from Austria, Spain. On May 9, 1882, Salvadora docked at Singapore. Hotel de la Paz is where Rizal stayed and spent 2 days in the sightseeing source of the city, which was a colony of England. No Limit Tangyari during Rizal's stays in Berlin was unable to be published, but with the help of Maximo Viola, who gave him the necessary funds to publish the novel No Limit Tangyari, was now released. Rizal immediately sent copies of No Limit Tangyari to his close friends after it was published on March 21, 1887. Rizal's political view. In Rizal's political opinion, a conquered country like the Philippines should be developed, civilized, educated, and trained in the science of self-government rather than exploited. Rizal's social perspective covered topics such as men in human life, racial issues, social contracts, social, wealth, reforms, poverty, greatness, history, progress, and the Philippines' future. Propaganda movement, positive impact. Propaganda movement, reform, and national consciousness movement that arose among young Filipino expatriates in the late 19th century. Although its adherents expressed loyalty to the Spanish colonial government, Spanish authorities harshly repressed the movement and executed its most prominent member, Jose Rizal. Negative impact. In the late 1800s, a return and national consciousness movement arose among young Filipino expatriates. Public education did not arrive in the Philippines until the 1860s, and even the Roman Catholic Church controlled the curriculum. The end.